Alright guys, this has been a long time coming. This is a review on the Vivi folding e-bike. I'm just going to do this real quick one upstairs in my room. Okay, it's been a long time coming. I've had it for about 4 or 5 months now. No, not 4 or 5 months, right about 3 months since my initial fiido L3 got stolen. So the very next day or 2 days after doing deliveries on foot and just making little next to nothing, I figured it was, right about time to get another one. And I looked up on Amazon and I saw this beautiful, nice young stallion. Uh, so I said to myself, why not get this one ASAP? But I thought it looked just like the Fido L2. It has the big battery. It has the dual suspensions in the front and the back, which are pretty cool. And by the way, I just did my first tire tube change after 3 months. Way to go. I'm really, really impressed. It took a very long time to change the tires. I think I had to change my tire on the Fido L3 much sooner than that. And if I have to do deliveries, then I definitely would have to get a second one because it doesn't matter how little you use these fins. If you have to use it all the time, then it will suffer wear and tear, and you would have to do a lot of repairs, especially on tires, the back tires, especially for e-bikes. Even with the suspensions, I think you would have less and less problems with the tubes because the problem with the Fido L3 was that the back did not have any suspensions as well as the front. So if you're a heavy guy and you land on bumps, even sometimes you land on a bump and after like 5, 10 minutes you see that you have a flat that the tire had punctured because there's nothing to help, ease the drop. There's nothing to help ease the drop. So if you land on a bump, it would just like, flatten the tire. So what you want to do, you want to make sure that you have an e-bike that has suspensions. I sent Fido a message. I told them that, hey, I would like to, here's my little 2 cents. If you guys intend to do the Fido L4, make the wheels 16 instead of 14 and get a bigger battery on it and give it a little bit more, volume, a little bit more volume. This one's just a little too small. This has become like the standard frame for a lot of e-bike companies, especially when they don't want to do the 14 inches. It's always like this size. So this is like, some type of template, I would say. So I think they really need to innovate. Maybe these templates are cheaper, so the companies don't want to innovate and make something from scratch. Everywhere you look, you either see this style or something similar to this or something not too far away from this. So I told them get a bigger battery, maybe 26 AH battery or 25 AH battery. Get a 14-inch wheels, dual suspensions. I told them about the suspensions. They should bring it back because the fact that they took it away in the Fido L3 was just a fucking bummer. And I think the Fido L3 looks a little smaller than this bike here. So yeah. So okay, where was I? Okay, so I got I ordered it. I received it in 4 days. Like it came like super fast, which I was really happy about. I unboxed it. I tried to ride it. The tires were flat, which was a bummer. So I went downtown. I put some air in the tires and I was good to go. I went downtown Oakland. I put some air in the tires and I was good to go. I loved every bit of it. It just felt like shock absorbers. It just felt like water when I first sat down on it to ride after I put some air in the tires because after riding the L3 for a while with no suspensions and you jump on this for the first time, it just feels really, really like a mattress. It's like, wow, it's like it just feels so comfortable. almost to the point that I felt there was something wrong with the bike, that I got off the bike and I checked it. I was like, man, this is really fucking comfortable. And even up until now, even though you get used to it, it doesn't feel as comfortable because you've been used to it, but you still feel the shocks when you jump on it, to the point I like, is there something wrong with the bike? Why does it feel like I'm sinking, when I get on it to ride? But I kind of like every bit of it. I love every bit of it. So downside, I wish it had some colors to it. I wish there was more colors. In terms of range, definitely the Fido L3 is longer in terms of range, because the Fido L3 has a 23 AH battery. This one has a 20 AH battery. So I'll give that to the Fido L3. Um, what else? The kickstands for a lot of this, even high end stuff, like this high end scooters, bikes, their kickstands a lot of times are just like, I don't know. After using it for like 2 months, the kickstand felt a little wobbly. I would put it down for it to, you know, I would straddle it, and it would just fucking, the bike would just drop. I really have to like make sure I push this part all the way and make sure it's like freaking on point. Then only then will it stay. So, but besides that, like the kickstand problem is just like really, really unbearable. So, but now I fixed it. I went to get my first tire change, and I fixed up the kickstand, and it feels much better than it used to feel. Um, this right here, the front tire, back tire, lovely. Um, Seats comfortable. Brakes much better than the Fido L3. The Fido L3, Fido, their brakes, they only use the brakes that they make. So having have all this experience with Fido, when I get like brakes for the Fidos, for some strange reason, their brakes are not as strong, to the point I had to change it to the mechanical slash um, hydraulic brakes. And even those two, after a while, they become jammed, and it's like those are really hard to fix. A lot of people can't fix that. The Fido, like the brake pads, you only get the ones that they make. You cannot get it from anywhere else. So it's just like a lot of problems. It was a lot of problems with the brake pads for the Fido. So this one here, I kind of like. I kind of enjoy this one, because this one are more generic. Like you could go anywhere and you can find this brake pad, so it's not a problem. But I just wish I had another bike, so that way you are not just using this one like crazy to the end of it. You have something else to let it take, the damage, the load. So yeah. So what else? What else? What else? Downsides, there's no backlights on this one. Fido L3 has a backlight. The battery is so big with the Fido that the back brake lights, whenever you turn on the bike and park it, the back brake lights are on. When you're riding it and you press the back brake lights, it flashes, and it doesn't really affect the size of the battery or the range of the battery, which I think 23 AH for a battery is massive. I still prefer having this over like a real scooter. Even though a real scooter is faster, you can go further, but a real scooter, you're gonna have to ride. Like if you live 10, 12 miles away from where you're doing deliveries, with a real scooter, you're gonna have to ride all the way to where you are, to where you're doing deliveries. And you're gonna have to add 40 miles plus the 12 miles that you rode. Add 40 miles to that of you actually doing the 40 miles of you actually doing deliveries, then another 12 miles of you riding back home. And that's just a lot of riding. Besides this one, I can jump on the train with this, I can jump on a bus, and I can still do 40 miles of deliveries and have a bus driver ride me back home. Like, why would I want to stress myself? Wait, only if you're like a full-time, high-end, like delivery guy who has nothing else that you're doing besides deliveries. So you can put all your energy into it. You could drive 12 miles to where you're doing deliveries with your real scooter, do 50 miles of delivery driving, and ride another 12 miles to your home, and you just sleep and repeat the next day. But I have other things I'm doing. I'm not gonna fucking do that. So I have to conserve energy. That's what it's all about. So I hope you can see the bike. My room is not all that Airbnb. So I hope you can see it. So yeah. So what else? What else? What else? Okay, another downside. Another downside. The chain of this bike every once in a while it loosens up, but it hasn't done that in quite a while. When I first got it, it was loosening up. It was really easy to put back in, but if I go into a bump for some strange reason, I think because of the shocks, it makes the chain lose its balance, its fitting, and it just like pops. But it's really easy to put back in, and I went down to have the chain adjusted, and the guy adjusted it, but it still does every once in a while. But it hasn't done that in a while, so okay. Lights are good. Lights are good. I think it just needs another screw here. I had to put in a wire to hold the screw because the screw kind of like disappeared. So, but the lights work perfectly. What else? I really would prefer. I really would prefer an LCD over this analog. The analog looks. Yeah, this was the same design of the Fido, and right here the horn and the lights are just fucking, it's not fitting anymore. I don't know what to do to make it fit. I think it's this screw here maybe has to be screwed. I've just not had the time. Maybe I should have had that done when I had the thing fitting. What else? The seats are great, like they go down sometimes, but I had to have it adjusted right here, which is not bad. What else? What else? Pedals work perfectly. Anytime the bike falls down, the pedals fucking folds up. It fucking folds up anytime the bike falls down. The pedals fold up. But they've never broken. I've never had any problem with the pedals breaking. I don't know, for some strange reason sometimes I feel like the battery is smaller than, not smaller in terms of size, like, but smaller in terms of like um what it's supposed to in terms of like range. But now I start deliveries a lot earlier and I get done at about 2 o'clock. Before with the Fido, I would start deliveries at 10 and I would get done right about like 6, 7 ish. But the Fido just seemed like the battery was much in terms of range bigger because I feel like the time that I have the amount of time that it's like 5 bars, but they're not all even. Like the biggest is the fifth one here. That's the biggest one. It takes about 3-4 hours to go down to the four one. When you go down to the four is not that big. Three is not that big. Two is, I think, might be a little bigger than three and four. But I've never had to like, I've gone down to one before, but I've never had to like use it to the point that all the battery is completely out and I have to like fucking just wheel the bike. So I'm just like, I'm not sure where, what is going on with the whole shebang. So, it's not just this one. It's been like that with all the e-bikes. You would think it's all even spaced out. If it's 28H and this is 5, then each should be like 4. Each bar should, but 4, 4 amp hours, 4 amp hours, 4 amp hours, 4 amp hours, 4 amp hours. That's what it's supposed to be, but that's not what it is. So, yeah, the key here brings up the battery very easily. It brings it up easily. I put this just to, I would like to add some stickers to it. Add some stickers. If I could change the color, I possibly would change the colors from black to maybe army green. That would be fucking cool. Black to army green. Um, yeah, that would be fucking cool. Why not? If it's like 200, I probably would. And if I don't have to leave it at where it's supposed to be for a long time, I would. I would. So, yeah, the key lets the battery out much easier than the fiido. Sometimes the fiido, I don't know if it's locked. I struggle with it, but this one, the key, it's just that this bike, I don't know, like it's a e-bike brand that's out there, not as popular, but they have other styles too, other make and models. Yeah, I wish the suspensions were a little stronger, but it works for what it is. This is mechanical brakes. I can find this anywhere on like the fiido. Like the fiido uses mechanical too, but it's just the brake pads of the fiido that's just like really hard to find. You're gonna have to order from them, but I don't have that problem with this bike. So yeah, I don't think I'm going back to the fiido L3, except if they get suspensions for their bike, front and rear tires. But I'm not gonna get anything with lower suspensions. Not, no, I'm not gonna do that. With except if they get yeah, suspensionable tires. Well, is there anything I'm missing? I have two locks, but I usually just use one. Brakes are okay. Brakes last a little longer than the Fido used to. I still don't know how to fix my brakes. I should learn so that way I can do it myself. So, okay, what else? What else? What else? I think that's about it. So, peace out, guys.